Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Ali here, and today we are talking about a topic that is as old as time but still just as fascinating as ever, and that is, of course, sex work. Specifically, we're going to explore how sex work has shaped the culture and history of my hometown, Montreal. Oui, je suis présentement à Montréal, les amis. I am currently spending a couple of weeks here after the crazy summer of work that we just had. So it's very nice to be back in the city. There were a lot of things I was looking forward to doing, like checking out all new restaurants, eating delicious Montreal food, seeing friends, going to live shows, checking out new stuff, walking around the city, seeing the leaves change, all those things. And of course, checking out some fun, interesting activities for Gab and I. So this video is going to be a lot of history. I'm just going to be regurgitating some interesting facts to you guys about Montreal and sex culture and history. So sit back and relax. But before we get into the video, if you like this content, if you like the channel, please like, bell, subscribe, all that stuff. And if you want to know how to support more the growth and maintenance of the channel, you can click on the links below the video, which will bring you to my Patreon, and you can check all that out there. All right, we're going to step way back in time now. As you might know, Montreal has always been known as a city of contrasts. It was founded in 1642. Is that right? Yes, 1642. I mean, obviously I had to do my research before regurgitating these facts to you guys, okay? So I got my notes in front of me so I don't miss up any dates. Anyways, so yes, it was founded in 1642 and it quickly became a hub for trade and culture and so on, and also developed a very vibrant nightlife. By the 18th century, it developed its fair share of brothels, catering from everyone to sailors to very high-end elite clientele looking for more secret rendezvous. And then fast forward to the Prohibition era, which was around 1920. And if you're not sure what the Prohibition era was, it's when the United States decided to place a ban on the manufacturing, the selling, and the transportation of alcohol. So the United States was totally dry. So what did the Americans do? They hopped over the border to Canada, I don't know why I said that with an accent, to Canada and to Montreal to get their drink on. Not only did they get their drink on, but they were also taking advantage of the vibrant nightlife that Montreal had. So we're talking jazz clubs, speakeasies, cabaret shows, and in all of these things, there were always something happening behind closed doors. So Montreal sort of developed this reputation as a little bit of a sin city. And honestly, things haven't changed that much today, because you go around Montreal on the weekends and you still find like swarms of men that are hopping over from Boston. Again, I don't know why I said that with an accent, but it's fun. Boston. I don't even know if that accent is correct. Boston, New York, and so on. And they come to Montreal, they come to party. The legal drinking age here is 18, and in the United States it's 21. So obviously they get the boys and they say, let's hit up Montreal for the weekend. Not just the boys. I mean, there are swarms of girls that also hop over and party here as well. But my point is that, you know, that was happening in the past in Montreal, the Americans coming over and partying in our cities, and that still happens today. Okay, so you might be thinking, all right, Montreal has had a colorful past, but what about today? Well, the sex industry in Montreal is still very much alive and thriving. In Montreal today, the sex industry includes everything from street-level workers to high-end hookers to the iconic strip clubs on St. Catherine Street. I'm not sure if you've ever been to St. Catherine Street, but there are a lot of strip clubs. Some of the more historical institution ones, like Club Super Sex, some of you may know what I'm talking about, you know, is no longer around. Unfortunately, that place burned down a couple years ago. But yes, you will definitely find your fair share of strip clubs on St. Catherine Street. And if you go a little bit further east, you'll find the Village, which also has a great amount of clubs and sex shows and bars and so on. And it's just a really great place to hang out. But as you know, it's not always about the glitz and the glam and so on. There's often a much deeper story here, one that involves real people and real lives trying to navigate the complex and dangerous industry of sex work. And this brings us to the part of the laws of sex work in Canada, which honestly are a bit confusing sometimes. So I'm gonna break it down for you. I'm also gonna take a moment to read it exactly how it is off my notes so I don't mess it up. All right, friends, so here's the lowdown. In Canada, it's legal to sell sexual services, but illegal to buy them. This is known as the Nordic model. I had no idea what that was, so I learned something new, and so did you today. And it was adopted in 2014 under the Protection of Communities and Exploited Persons Act. The idea behind it is to criminalize the demand while protecting those who sell sex. Sounds good in theory, right? But actually in practice, it's a little bit more complicated than that. So people actually argue that this model actually forces sex work more underground, making it a lot more dangerous for people who participate in it. So think about it. If clients are afraid of getting caught, this will prevent them from wanting to meet in public places. And this will then push sex workers to potentially put themselves in some isolated, unsafe environments. On the other hand, supporters of the law say it reduces the demand for sex work, providing protection to more vulnerable individuals. So it's a very heated debate. As I've always said, sex work and the sex industry and so on, it's a very murky world to navigate. It's a very big gray area depending who you are, where you come from, what you're doing, what the laws are, your environment, and so on. I'm still trying to understand it. I'm still trying to understand how I feel about it. And yeah, what do you guys think about it? And if we start going into the rights of the sex workers, well, what about them? Well, what about their rights? So there's actually a really cool organization in Montreal called Stella. It's an advocacy group that provides resources for sex workers. They offer legal assistance, health services, workshops on how to, navigate personal safety and how to navigate the law. And also what's really cool is that once a month, they offer workshops to outsiders, so to students, to researchers, to people who are genuinely curious about learning more of the sex industry and sex workers in Montreal, how they can navigate it more positively, how they can help, and so on, and sort of just clearing up misconception and destigmatizing the things that surround the idea of sex work and the sex industry. And if you want to learn more about how you can support their cause, I put their link in the description below this video, so you can definitely check them out if you live around the area. So beyond the legal stuff, sex work is a significant part of Montreal culture. The city's strip clubs, for example, are like a rite of passage for many. As I said in the beginning, there are swarms of people that come here just to go to the strip clubs. Now, I haven't been to a strip club in Montreal in a very long time. I might go to one during this trip here, but in my younger days, I would go often with my girlfriends, and we always had a really, really good time amongst ourselves with the dancers and so on. They're not just places to go see a show. They're really a reflection of the city's identity and its openness. Whether you see them as empowering spaces or the problem of a larger societal issue, they are undeniably what makes Montreal. Where does this leave us then? Montreal's history and culture of sex work are just as complex as they are fascinating. From the early days of the brothels to the strip clubs that they are today, the city has always had a very unique relationship with the sex industry. It's a relationship that's shaped by laws, societal attitudes, and of course, the people who live and work here. All right, friends. That's it. Thank you so much for joining me on this little dive into Montreal history and culture of sex work and sex industry. I hope you learned something new, because I definitely did. If you want to learn more, then you absolutely can. Please do so on your free time. I've linked some sites and resources below this video that you can definitely check out. And if you have any experiences to share, I don't know, maybe you have some experiences from like back in the day or even today when you come to Montreal, please do so. Or anything else to contribute to the conversation, always drop it in the comments below. I'll be sharing more with you over my next couple weeks here in Montreal. That's it, friends. Alors, c'est tout pour aujourd'hui. Je vous aime. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.